Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle and today we're going to talk about developing extroverted intuition. Extroverted intuition is a cognitive function that's probably one of the most fun of all of the cognitive functions. Not that I'm biased or anything, and I want to tell you guys how you can have a little bit more fun in your life and how you can use extroverted intuition. Now, although I'm saying that it is fun, there are definitely benefits to being able to use it, especially if it's something that you ignore a lot of times in your life. Extroverted intuition is about the possibilities. It's about what could be. What I'm going to do is give you a framework, give you some concepts and some ways that you could potentially develop your extroverted intuition. This topic was requested by an INFP, and yes, INFPs do use extroverted intuition, but the way that it's going to happen for an INFP is it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to access extroverted intuition. Now you might say, that's impossible. They're literally an INFP. They use extroverted intuition. It's right there in their cognitive stacking. It's second. Well, the thing is, with introverts, they're going to have better access to their introverted cognitive functions, which for an INFP is going to be introverted feeling and introverted sensing. It's much easier for an INFP to get stuck in that introverted sensing, introverted feeling realm. If you're somebody like an ISFP or ISTP, this section might be really helpful for you in order to figure out how to use it a little bit more, because it is your blind spot. You're going to be prone to ignoring the extroverted intuition and possibly struggling to see the potential and possibilities in things outside of the one most likely outcome. So this video should be able to help both the INFPs and INTPs, because very similar cognitively, and anybody who's developing their extroverted intuition. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about how to do that. To talk about how to develop extroverted intuition, we must first talk about what is extroverted intuition. There are two main things to know about extroverted intuition. First and foremost is the question, how are these two things alike? Extroverted intuition is always comparing things, always trying to see how A is like B and how B is like C and how like C is like D. They're always trying to make the connections of how things are similar, how things are alike. This is a very important part of the process to extroverted intuition, seeing the similarities between things. You'll often hear extroverted intuitive dominants, such as ENFPs and ENTPs, saying, aha, those things are exactly the same, where you might hear an ISTP say, those things are completely different. So extroverted intuition is looking for those connections and how things are similar. The other thing that extroverted intuition is doing is saying, what could happen? What could happen if this and this were in the same room? What would happen if we went from here to here to here to here to here? What would be the outcome of that? How could things play out? And they're not just asking, what is the one singular way that it's going to play out? No, extroverted intuition is saying, what are the ways that this could play out? What are the different possibilities of ways that this particular thing could go? It is always asking the what ifs. What if we take this and this? What if we combine these two concepts? It is always asking about the possibilities. So first and foremost, it's connecting things, seeing how things are alike. And then it's saying, what could happen with these things? Where could these things go? What is the possible outcome? What are the 10,000 possible outcomes? So now that we have a basic groundwork for what extroverted intuition is, which, albeit, yes, I was relatively vague, and that's the thing. Extroverted intuition is so all-encompassing that if we try to be too specific, we're actually going to step away from what extroverted intuition is. So just keep in mind these two words to describe extroverted intuition: connection and possibility. Those are the two main words that we would use to describe extroverted intuition and the way that it works. So now that we understand what it is, let's talk about what to do, how to get into that mode, how to practice extroverted intuition. Now, I can't tell you how to get out of your mind and how to get out of your loop, your introverted sensing, introverted feeling loop as an INFP, or maybe your introverted thinking and introverted intuition loop as an ISTP. I can't tell you how to get out of those modes, but what I can do is give you some ideas of what you can do to access extroverted intuition, which ideally by default would get you out of that introverted mode. I know that that's not an easy thing to do, but something that you need to be able to do in order to practice extroverted intuition is forget about what is real and what is actually possible. And you need to get rid of assumptions about reality. You need to get rid of assumptions about people, about places, about things, about how things work. You need to get rid of those assumptions and those baseline understandings. This is for an exercise, boys and girls. This is not for all the time. Don't worry, I've got that handled. What you're trying to do is access extroverted intuition, and extroverted intuition can't be held back by assumptions of reality. Assumptions of reality limit the number of possibilities and therefore limit extroverted intuition. And what we need to do is set extroverted intuition free. So try to the best of your ability, get rid of your assumptions of the reality. You good? No. So next we're going to combine some random ideas. I would recommend going to the internet and getting up a randomizer. Just randomly looking for words. Maybe you could ask some friends for some random things. Maybe get some random links. Maybe go to Wikipedia and click into a couple of pages and just let your clicks go until you've lost track and grab one idea, and then do the same and grab a second idea. So now you have two concepts. Now try to see how those two concepts are related. Combine these two concepts and try to see what is the same about these two concepts. Let your imagination carry you. Let yourself think about what could have happened, what might have happened. It doesn't have to be anything real. And in fact, I would implore you to do it with things that are not real. With things that are real, it can be very easy to get caught up in the facts and reality of it. This is why, if you want to work on developing your extroverted intuition, you have to take it outside of yourself, outside of your reality, outside of your phaneron, and just explore something else. Explore a different concept for a little while. Practice these activities. Set up time for yourself to go down a mental rabbit hole. Even if it's only 10 or 15 minutes at a time, it will help you tremendously. In order to step away from what is, we need to imagine what could be without the restraints of what is. Imagine what is doesn't exist. What could happen instead? If there were no restraint on reality, we could see what could happen. It might be helpful as well if you are somebody struggling with extroverted intuition to read fantasy and sci-fi novels or watch fantasy and sci-fi stories. These stories are going to push you to believe things that just don't seem real. Allow yourself to think about how would this world be if it actually had magic? How would this world be if it had this piece of technology? Just let yourself go down these mental rabbit holes to develop that extroverted intuition. But I hope that this video helps give you a little insight as to what extroverted intuition is and how it works, as well as ways that you can better develop extroverted intuition. What I would love to see, and this is your homework assignment if you're trying to work on your extroverted intuition. Yes, I'm assigning homework because you asked me how to develop your extroverted intuition, okay? This is your homework assignment. Find two random things, doesn't matter what they are. You can follow my technique of following a Wikipedia random rabbit hole, or you could just pick two words at random. You could open up a dictionary on two different pages and just put your fingers on two different words. Whatever you need to do to find these two different concepts, find out some connections between them. Think about some possibilities for them. Try to see how they're alike or how they could be put together in tandem. I want to see you go down a mental rabbit hole and type it out. Type out 1 page or about 500 words of this mental rabbit hole and turn it in to me by next week. Your homework assignment has been given and I expect results. But with that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope that this helps you develop your extroverted intuition a little bit. And if that's not what you're looking for, maybe it helps you understand extroverted intuition a little bit. I want to say, all in all, thank you so much for watching. If you want to support me and my channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. You can check out the Patreon or definitely join the Discord and join our discussions about personality and a bunch of other random stuff. If you want to practice your NE, come to our Discord server. It's full of extroverted intuitives. It's full of ENFPs and ENTPs, so we need you so that you can learn how to be more like us. Yeah. But all in all, I really hope that you have a beautiful, amazing, fantastic day. Bye!